Okay, I like money, you like money, we all like money. And so in today's video, we're gonna make money in the stock market. Hopefully. I'm giving myself 7 days, $500, and a lot of caffeine to hopefully make some crazy returns in the stock market using put options. You guys are going to be able to see every trade I make this week, the ups, the downs, the joys, the pains. And then at the end of this video, we're going to break down the final results and all of the lessons I've learned so that you guys can apply this to your options trading journey. Before we dive into our first trade, let me explain what a put option is. Similar to a call option, a put option is a contract between a buyer and a seller. The buyer side of the contract is gaining the right to purchase a specific stock at a specific strike price by a specific date. And then the seller side of the contract is agreeing that they will sell that stock for all of the same variables that you bought it for. But the seller side of this stuff does not really matter because all my positions in this video will be buying. So, how we're going to make money in this challenge is by trading the premium on every contract. The premium is the fee in which the buyer pays for the right to their contract. And this premium can fluctuate a lot due to a lot of different reasons. But in essence, we're trying to buy the contract for a lower premium with the hopes that someone else will then want to buy it for a higher premium price. And thus, we profit. Puts are bearish, and so we're going to make our money when the stock price drops. Now that we're all on the same page that we need the stocks to go down to make money, let's get into the first trade. Okay, so it is market open on Monday. Like I said, this challenge was 7 days, so I started early. Actually, I started last Friday, so let me explain that, and I'll tell you what we did with that trade this morning. Okay, before market close on Friday, there was a ticker symbol called Wolf that I saw had ran up a ton on the past couple days, and it was a penny stock. Honestly, no philosophy there, but I just had a hunch. So I just wanted to dip my toes into the water starting this challenge. I didn't want to blow up the portfolio right away, so I went in with 10% of the total challenge funds on this trade. I bought in for $55, and as of this morning, I was able to sell out of it for a nice little profit, sold out at $60. So, first trade, we're already in the green, which is a great sign. Trades like this really are not going to move the needle much, and I want bigger returns. So, we're gonna bet bigger, like a lot bigger. Okay, it is still Monday, but the market just closed, and I want to talk about the two trades I bought into today. These are trades that I plan to flip and turn at market open tomorrow, which will be Tuesday. The first of the two trades is Apple. I bought into this contract at about $108, so we're up in the portfolio size. I think it's gonna move downwards tomorrow morning on some bad news, some antitrust stuff, so that was kind of my hunch there. And then our second trade was on a company called AMD. I spent the big bucks on this one. We ended up buying this contract at $310, so between these two trades, we have leveraged a lot of our portfolio. This one I'm not as confident on, but I wanted to throw it into something big because it's go big or go home, and I'm going big. Not a whole lot left to do today except wait for market open tomorrow, so I'll talk to you guys then. Okay, so it is Tuesday, day 3 of the challenge. Market just closed, and let's talk about all the trades we did today. First up, the Apple trade. So market opens, Apple took a dive. I guessed correctly, and it paid off. So I was able to sell out of that for about $125. That felt pretty good. That means 2 trades in a row have been dubs. Now moving on to our third trade of this challenge, the AMD trade. Same thing as Apple. It kind of moved around upwards at first in this challenge, so I was a little nervous we were gonna have to take a loss, but luckily it did dip, and we were able to sell that for $390. So big win on that one, super excited about it. That is huge. So that means we have taken 3 wins in a row to start this challenge. Feels pretty good. Between those 3 trades, we're at basically $600 on the challenge, so 20% up already. Feeling pretty good. Now, obviously, this is a challenge, right? And I gotta max out my opportunities to gamble. And then one opportunity I took today was on SPY, which tracks the entire stock market. I bought in with 2 contracts at a price of $185 per contract. My idea here was get in and out, quick 15-minute trade, make a couple dollars, and then call it a day. Unfortunately, that's not quite how this worked out. It immediately moved against me, and I wanted to double down. If you guys had seen my call options video from last week, I would have doubled down if I was still that person from a week ago. Luckily, I am not that person anymore, and I set a stop loss, so we sold out of that position for only about a $40 loss, which I am totally comfortable with. given we're already in the money. Just because we took an L on that trade does not mean I was discouraged though. So just about 30 minutes ago, I bought a contract on Nvidia. I bought one put contract for a price of $395. Again, same plan here is to hope there's a swing down in market open. Not a lot left to do today except maybe research some more, but I'm feeling pretty good with where we're at. So I'll see you guys tomorrow morning. They printed. We got a big win right here. Let me show you. Okay, you see the sea of red right here? Now, if we were trading calls, we would be in a really bad spot. But luckily, since we're trading puts, which means we want the stock to go down, we're the bears, this means we made a lot of money. Let's key on Nvidia here right quick. So before I show you just how much I made on this, let's look at how the stock did this morning. So pre-market, it goes down a little bit, whatever, blah, blah, blah. Kind of did nothing. I mean, there was a little rise right here. And so I was watching this most of the morning, but I never really felt that afraid because that is where I was applying the lesson from my last call video, which you should watch that if you haven't watched it yet. The lesson I learned was that buy further out days to expiration because it's not as volatile. So when it jumped all the way up to 127, my call lost 25%. It really wasn't that big of a deal. Plus, it was a very short candle and I wasn't really watching it too hard. But it started to trend down, and this is when I decided that I would be smart, and again, take another principle from my last videos, I had to take profit. So if you guys remember, we bought in at $395 for one contract. And this morning, we were able to sell it for a cool $500 even. Over an $100 profit overnight. That's pretty damn good, bringing our challenge total to $668.50, boys. We are up big in this challenge so far. Honestly, I think this might be the only trade of today because I am pretty busy today. I don't have a lot of time to look at more charts. Might be keying in on Apple though for another swing trade tomorrow. I seem to be having decent success with that, though knowing my luck, I'm gonna say that, and then tomorrow's trade is going to be a huge red trade. I don't really know exactly what I'm gonna do, but so far I'm feeling pretty good. I wanna try and take at least one or two more big trades before this challenge is over on Friday. I'll see you guys tomorrow. So it's still Wednesday, and I decided to take another trade. Let me walk you guys through it. Okay, so I decided to make a trade on Apple. The idea was that it had gone up like $8 a share in a day, which is a lot for Apple. They normally aren't moving that much, and I think on the day they were up 6 or 7%. So a good movement, a little too crazy for what I thought, and so the idea is that Apple chart go up, I think Apple chart should go down. And so I bought a put. I bought a $2.10 put expiring July 16th for $265. And the idea is that this would then move into my Thursday swing trade. I thought there might be a little correction tomorrow morning, but that correction actually happened a lot faster than I thought it would. So I was able to sell out 5 minutes before market close for a nice 17% profit, $310. So that is 2 dubs in one day, bringing our total to $713.42. So far, we're absolutely killing it in this challenge. I'm gonna make one more trade tomorrow to see if I can break into $800. Let's see what we can do. All right, so it is Thursday night, and let's talk about what we did today. So market opened today, and it was feeling pretty green. I couldn't figure out exactly what bet I wanted to take. I was looking around, but nothing was really sticking out to me. I think today was definitely a bullish day, and that actually ended up being totally true. Almost every stock went up. So not exactly ideal for a bear, but we profited. Now I know I'm kind of like a pro trader now. No, in all seriousness, today was not an insane trade at all. And in fact, my risk to return was way too high on this trade, and I actually ended up just sticking to my gut with this one and selling out immediately as I hit profit. So the ticker I decided to trade on today was AMD. Yes, AMD again. I know. Creature of habit. What can I say? I like the stock. Sue me. Don't sue me. So AMD was up like 3% in the first 45 minutes of the day, and I was looking online to see if there was any reason as to why it was pumping, and I couldn't find anything at all. And the RSI, which is the relative strength indicator, which essentially gauges how overbought or oversold a company's share price is at that particular time. And it was trending a little bit high, and so I thought, okay, let's hope for a quick pullback in about 20 minutes, in and out, quick trade, close to the money. I bought a $155 put. That's the strike. And it was trading at like 158. So only $3 in the money. Well, I guess for a put, is it technically out of the money if it's under the share price? I don't know. It doesn't matter. Anyways, I made money, so. But I bought it on this contract for $430, and immediately I was down like 40 bucks, but that was only just under 10%. And my stop loss for this was at 20% because I knew that AMD, it's volatile, and with that amount of money, like, yeah, 40 bucks, not great, but under 10%, it's a lot easier to think in percentages when you're dealing with things like this. So I was in the tank for about 45 minutes straight, and I thought that I was getting pretty close to my stop loss. I was like, damn, I'm gonna have to take an L on this trade. But there was a little pullback just a little later than I thought. It wasn't huge, dipped to just about 157, something like that. And we were able to get out with only a 1% profit, but profit is profit. So that is another successful trade to the books, which brings our challenge total to $718.33. A small win today, but a good one. I thought about trying to make another trade today, but everything was very bullish and the charts were all green, which for me is not good in this challenge, so I decided to hold off. So yeah, that wraps up Thursday. So tomorrow being the last day of the challenge, I'm gonna try and get in, make a very quick trade at open, and get out. I don't think there's going to be a ton of opportunity tomorrow, but I'm going to see what I can do because I want to make one last trade before we end this challenge. Feeling pretty good about where we're at, but like I said, I do kind of want to get to 800. I'm not sure if the market conditions are there for that though, but either way, we are doing well in this challenge, and so all things considered, unless I blow up my portfolio tomorrow, we should be in the green. I'll see you guys tomorrow. All right, it is Market Close Friday and the challenge is officially over. But don't worry, I did make one final trade today. Let me give the context. So market opened today and I really wasn't sure on if I wanted to invest in anything. Everything seemed really bullish and I just couldn't find a good pick. But I didn't want to disappoint, so I started screening some companies and I was able to find a couple that had decreasing volume in exchanges, while also the price was still going up, which tends to be on the bearish side of the market. In addition to that, the RSI was overbought strongly. So this kind of created the perfect storm where the stock was going up, but people weren't confident that it was going to keep going up. At least that's what the statistics say. It's basically astrology, but for finance bros. But lo and behold, wouldn't you believe it, the stock I finally chose was AMD. That's right, the sweet summer child, old reliable AMD. So if anyone's been keeping track, that's like 3 times in this challenge, which is kind of insane, but boy, I've been playing this stock, and let me tell you, we took another dub. So as you can see, AMD was really running up this morning, so I decided to buy puts on the way up, just on the hunch that the RSI told me, and the low volume with increasing price told me that there would be a pullback of some sort, right? I wasn't planning to do like an insane trade, but I figured if I could capitalize on the pullback near the top. Now again, you can't ever time the market, so I'm not gonna act like that's what I was trying to do, but anyway, so for about an hour, it was running up, and so I thought I was gonna have to close out this trade at a loss, but luckily the indicators and the research that I had done was correct, and it did start to pull back. So the stock did come down, and I was able to sell it for a nice $50 profit. So we are now running out of this challenge in a good spot. With the AMD trade officially closing out this challenge, we hit a total of 8 trades with only 1 loss and 7 successful trades. Pretty good if you ask me. And of course, this brings our final challenge amount to $768.24, which feels great. I'm glad we could do it. But before you click off the video, let me explain the 3 really important tips I learned from this so you guys can start applying it literally tomorrow. Lesson 1, trade further days till expiration. You do not want to pick up these contracts that are expiring in 1 day, 2 days, 0 days in some case for the real gamblers out there. I think almost all the contracts I sold in this challenge were about 30 days out. And the reason I did this is because of something called theta decay. Theta decay is essentially that the price of your contract, the premium, is going to be worth less the closer you get to expiration because there's less time for the underlying or the asset, the share price, to move in either away or towards the direction of the strike. I hope that makes sense, but if not, just take away, trade further days till expiration if you don't want to get screwed by money. Lesson number 2, take profit. Always take your profit. Do not chase these crazy gains. You know, with options, there is intrinsically going to be a lot of variance. You know, there were times in this challenge where I bought in, immediately I was down 20%, but I knew that this was a volatile stock. And inversely, there were times where I was up 50% on a company. And so my philosophy there was take profit because you're so much better taking a $1 profit than any loss at all, regardless of how big the trade size was. Might not be the most effective trading strategy, but ultimately it boils down to don't lose. But segueing into lesson 3, if you're gonna lose, at least know going in how much you're comfortable losing, which is having a risk tolerance. And this will vary by company. I'm not going to tell you exactly how to do it in this video, but the point is you should have some understanding of I'm okay with the underlying moving this amount before I'm going to sell it. And you have to be okay taking those losses and think in percentages, not in dollars. But those are my big 3 takeaways from this puts challenge. Thank you guys so much for watching. If you want to trade some puts in Robinhood for yourself, you can get started with the link in my description. Or if you want to learn more about options, making money online, investments, entrepreneurship, anything cool pretty much, then make sure to subscribe because I'm going to have videos dropping every single week, maybe even twice a week, on things of that sort. And finally, if you like this challenge and you want to see me do it with call options, click this video right here. Thank you guys. Have a good day.